issue between India and Pakistan is whenever there is any terrorism incident that take place in India, even before completion of investigation, before having any evidence, India starts blaming Pakistan.
The narrative against Pakistan is good to sell to their voters, and I think that is one of the things. India's threat to violate the Indus Water Treaty, I think it will not go very good, because
It will
Pakistan,
not go good.
no. So I think for India is also a lot on at the stake. It is, I would believe this is a kind of a gimmick for the elections, and it will be solved hopefully peacefully.
Pakistan is ready to cooperate, but Indian position is no cooperation.
This is an election gimmick, and it will be changed. Why they will go
Only
for
point scoring.
Pakistan is strategically on a very, very good position. Yeah, Pakistan could benefit from a lot of the fifth biggest country in the world has a climate change budget of $29 million, which is a joke. Asian Development Bank has issued a report, and they estimate that 1.2 million Pakistani every year will be internally displaced due to the climate crisis as of 2050. If Pakistan do not do drastic measure mitigating all that.
Pakistan is facing terrorism, and that terrorism is emanating from Afghanistan. Some of the global outfits are based over there, Al-Qaeda, and it is being funded by Indian RAW and many other hostile elements and agencies. How you view Pakistan's contribution towards peace and fighting terrorism?
We're hoping that Afghanistan will be a stability factor in the region. Afghan has suffered for the last 50 years this war, but unfortunately, again, this is become a proxy for the international power.
Whatever conflicts we are witnessing, Jammu and Kashmir, Afghanistan, Sudan, Gaza, Israel has carried out aggression against Lebanon, Syria, entire Middle East is in disturbance, and now India, Pakistan. So because of lingering disputes of Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine, should we think that international law or United Nations has failed?
See, there is a problem. I try to also explain to them, and that's why we are opening an academy, if I may say, in Lahore, probably an Pakistan Academy on United Nations. I believe that until Mr. Modi government is in power, I don't see any progress. I think when I see Pakistani and Indian living abroad, they are friends. But when they go back to their country, they become enemy.
So the background of complex global issues, rising Islamophobia, India's negative attitude, hostile attitude towards Pakistan, provocative statements, terrorism emanating from Afghanistan, trade tariffs from United States.
First of all, you have to bring political stability in this country. You have to have, I always say Pakistan has not the problem with corruption. I have seen corruption around the world far worse than Pakistan. Pakistan has a problem of competency. You need to have a competent people.
Dear viewers, one of the most challenging issues in the world is climate change. The entire world is facing. Bigger nations are contributing more emissions, and smaller nations like Pakistan, they are the most victims of these emissions and climate change. So there are global funds as well. But as far as Pakistan is concerned, Pakistan has not benefited the way the other countries have benefited from global funds which are meant to mitigate climate change effects. Other than climate change, then there is an issue of peacekeeping, conflict resolution, and many, many other things. Today, we are fortunate to have with us a personality, a person, an expert who has worked with United Nations for more than 27 years as an UN diplomat, as a global United Nations diplomat who has rich experience in combating crimes, terrorism, working to promote peace, conflict resolution, climate, how illegal migration could be prevented, and how smaller countries which think that their people should legally migrate to richer countries. What is the legal way? Dr. Afsar Rathor, very warm welcome to Program Insight in V News English. And these are some of the areas that you have worked, and currently you are working in an organization that is called Laos. That's true. So these are some of the areas that you have worked. We will start, Rathor Sahab, with at a time when you are visiting Pakistan, there is a conflict between India and Pakistan. And since from the platform of United Nations, you have worked extensively for establishing peace and conflict resolution. Issue between India and Pakistan is whenever there is any terrorism incident that take place in India, even before completion of investigation, before having any evidence, India starts blaming Pakistan. So this blame game or accusations against Pakistan is a counterproductive in promoting peace. Your thoughts?
That is a very unfortunate situation. I think if I see the world we are going, world is moving to the right on the right things. Populist parties are winning the elections, and they have their narrative against the minorities. In India, unfortunately, the same things. What we have seen then again and again, the sequence. Which is whenever there is an election in India, there are two big elections in Bihar and UP very soon, and BJP is losing ground in the last election. You have seen that rather than getting the two-third majority, they even lost the majority, and they have to go in coalition. So the narrative against Pakistan is good to sell to their voters, and I think that is one of the things. India's threat to violate the Indus Water Treaty, I think it will not go very good, because
it will not go good.
No, but because the Pakistan has the guarantor is World Bank, the United States, and Pakistan has also the possibility to go ICJ, International Court of Justice, to appeal against that. Further to that, also India ambitious to become the part of the Security Council will also hurt that, because if you are doing something like the violating a basic principle which you have agreed in 1960 and by the guarantee of the World Bank and the United States, so you cannot be then so impartial. So I think for India is also a lot at the stake. It is, I would believe this is a kind of a gimmick for the elections, and it will be solved hopefully peacefully.
It will be solved peacefully, but Pakistan has made sincere efforts. Speech by Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, and so far whatever statements coming from Pakistani military leadership, Pakistani political leadership, they're offering sincere cooperation to India, that in case of any investigation in Pahalgam, Pakistan is ready to cooperate. But Indian position is no cooperation, just acquisition, and you are hoping that there will be peace. So India's this attitude is counterproductive. It is not good for promoting peace.
I think this is what I meant. This is an election gimmick, and it will be changed. Why they will go
only
for
point scoring during election,
scoring and winning the election. I think this is, if you see the sequence, you always realize that before the election something like that happened. It is in the 2018 election. This was also happened. Pulwama was that the attack, and
very deadly attack.
And then again blame game started, and the attack, surgical attack, counter attack. So that kind of things I think is not very good for the regional and international peace. We will, and I think I told today also to our other colleague during the intervention that this is not good for Indian image to be the world leader in democracy, and also a world leader going to be in the financial world.
And so, you also said that India is also trying to become the Security Council member.
that they have the very
by doing
ambitious,
this, India may not qualify for that.
that they will lose a lot of credibility. And I think this is our Indian friends also know that. And I always I am a positive person. I was in the peace negotiation in the Yemen. I was in Bosnia Herzegovina during the war, and in Rwanda after the genocide. And I am a peacemaker. I believe in very positively. I believe in peace, and I am hoping that the peace will and the sense will prevail. And
so another important thing is this peace, this legal migration. Smaller countries, people are not allowed to legally migrate, or even if there is job quota, legal migration, that is very little. And you shared information with us. We have seen people of Pakistan in different European countries in a very pathetic condition. Then there have been boat capsizing incidents, things like that. What is the reason of migration by mostly young people from Pakistan and from other nations? What is the reason, and how it could be, how legal channels for Pakistani youth could be open?
okay,
Sir.
if I can go a bit one step before that, see why people are leaving. You don't leave your mother, father, your family. These are
Your
not
native town, exactly.
You leave because of some economical gains. This opportunity, you should have it. You have a brain drain going on, and that is not good for a country. If you have also, and I was also today mentioning that, for example, Pakistan is strategically on a very, very good position. Pakistan could benefit from a lot of things. But when I see there is a lack of policy, there are lack of implementation, there is not very friendly, if I talk very openly, there is not a very friendly environment for investor. Investor would like to come here and invest and make money. But if you have all the red tapes and you have all the complications,
bad governance,
and the worst thing, which I would say, its economical development is very much related to the political stability. If I see in the last 10 years, you have 7 government change. In climate change, when I was reading, there is no inconsistency. You make a policy and the next government come and they change.
Policies are changed.
When I see, if I may explain to you, I just reading Pakistan budget for climate change ministry. It was $29 million for 2022, 23, 24. Which is a peanuts. I mean, this is covering everything for a country with 250 million population. The fifth biggest country in the world has a climate change budget of $29 million, which is a joke, which is a very simple. So people are forced to leave. And now, as I say, Asian Development Bank has issued a report, and they estimate that 1.2 million Pakistani every year will be internally displaced due to the climate crisis as of 2050. If Pakistan do not do drastic measure mitigating all that. So
this could be one of the reasons of this migration to the Europe through illegal means.
So the problem now is that the smugglers, they are exploiting the young people. Okay. However, I am going to the different university in Pakistan for the last 3-4 years and also educating a young student. I said there are 2-3 things very important. First, you have to see the opportunity and there are a lot of opportunities. However,
there are a lot of opportunities.
There are
legally.
I can tell you. If I can tell you that we have, for example, right now, 20 million, by 2030, European Union would need 20 million IT expert.
2030 European Union?
By 2030.
That's the entire region.
Region would need 20 million IT. They have only 9 million will produce. 11 million will be missing for that. Okay. So what the European Union has done.
20 million IT expert European Union would be needing by 2030.
Yes. And they will only produce 9 million. 11 million they have to import. They have to ask from abroad.
9 million are needed to be imported.
11 million. Okay. So what happened is then the European Union base, as the American has started different initiative. Just like American has the green card, that European Union has also different blue card and different card. I can, if you want, I can explain to you. And then the national initiative. For example, Germany has started one initiative. It's called German Opportunity Card, German Chancen Card.
German opportunity for skilled workers.
This is German Opportunity Card, and this is the only system where you don't need a job offer by an employer in order to going to Germany. You will get the visa. However, there are these are based on point system. So you have to have a relevant education. You should have a relevant experience. You should have. You should be basically ideally under 35, and if possible, you should be having a B1 in German, or A1 or B1 in English, and then you have 12 months time to find a job. However, the only requirement beside this education is that you have to be self-sufficient financially. Means you should have 1,100 euro per month or 13,000 for entire year. You have to prove that you have it. And in these 12 months, if you have this qualification, which I later I will also talk about the sectors and fields, then you will definitely find very easily a job. This is number one. Number two, if I may go another opportunity is that single permit directive. Here, this is also a single permit directive, means you apply, but you should have a job there. And we have a home pages full of that where you can apply for a job. Once the employer has offered you a job opportunity, then you will be considering there, you will go there and you can get a job there. You can then move, and this is also good for the family reunification, and you can have the permanent residency. This is number two. Number three, if I can tell you, then there is, we call a digital nomad visas, and this is only you will find in Portugal, also in southern or eastern Portugal, Spain, Croatia, Estonia, and Greece. And what they do is they offer once you have a job, once you are there, you should have a job outside in this country. Means you are sitting in Spain, but you have an online job in Germany. So you can work there. And this is also something you should have, again, the qualification and the job requirement and experience. It will be extended, and it is you can also convert into the permanent residency. I'm just going very quickly because otherwise because otherwise we will be. Then there is one thing which this is my favorite one, and that is the German blue. This is European Union blue card. Blue card. But what is the blue card means? This is a card which is also just like the American green card, but you should have, in that sense, you should have at least a job offer from an employer. And that what it says also, that you can get the visa then up to 4 years, and it is extendable. Okay. Then this the education is very important. 3 to 5 years experience is important. And English proficiency is important. Family reunification. All that things is important. And if there is an Austrian blue card and
many more.
More.
Since time is short, I would like to take benefit of your thoughts on Pakistan is facing terrorism, and that terrorism is emanating from Afghanistan. Some of the global outfits are based over there. And this band, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, is affiliated with Al-Qaeda, and it is being funded by Indian RAW and many other hostile elements and agencies. So, number one, how you view Pakistan's contribution towards peace and fighting terrorism? And what is your suggestion how Pakistan can overcome this terrorism? Because other than climate change, terrorism and lawlessness is another reason that people would like to migrate.
Yes, this is a very good question. And unfortunately, we were hoping that Afghanistan will be a stability factor in the region. Afghan has suffered for the last 50 years this war, but unfortunately, again, this is become a proxy for the international power. And
Afghanistan has become a proxy for international powers,
and that unfortunately that they do not see the long-term implication for the people of Afghanistan. Poverty is increasing. people are having no job. There is high unemployment rate. There is security issues, and I think what Pakistan can do. I always say you have to be dependent upon yourself. You cannot rely on others. Pakistan have to secure its border. I know there is a very porous border, a very long border with Afghanistan from both sides. However, this is the only thing you can. Otherwise, international community will not come and help you. And this is also Pakistan is suffering because of that security, because of the security issue.
Is vital. Peace is vital for socio-economic development.
Because investor cannot come. I
Very
said
important point.
right after the COVID, your Western world attention diverted from China and looking for new market. Pakistan could be a very ideal place.
Strategic location.
Strategic location, highly educated people.
Hot waters, ports, really. Deep water ports.
And you have a very young population. Your 60% of your population is under 30. So all that. However, because of the security problem, no investor is willing to come here. And that's why you see that the manufacturing sector is suffering. You have hardly any manufacturing sector here. You have a high unemployment, and this high unemployment led to the social problems.
Exactly.
Security problem. People are very vulnerable for terrorism because you get some money and you do whatever you need to do in order to support. And I think this is a circle. You have to break it. You have to bring safety and security your own border, your own country, in order to attract an investor. And as I said, investor is only interested in profit. And Pakistan is a very profitable market, a big market. However, you have to do your homework. Bring political stability and security stability.
And quickly, since you have worked with the United Nations, every year 15 March is observed as a global day against Islamophobia. That is a global issue. And what is the reason of rise of Islamophobia in Europe? Because Islam teaches peace, love, harmony, and things like that. Is it due to some misunderstanding about the religion of Islam or something like that? So since it is a global day by the United Nations every year on 15th of March, so your thoughts precise on this Islamophobia?
See, if I may say one thing, the problem is that we Muslims, I myself also, alhamdulillah, we Muslims misuse the religion very badly. If you see the Taliban on the name of Islam, what they have done that. ISIS on the name of Islam, what they have done. So the rightist party in Europe only winning the election, like in India on narrative against Pakistan.
And the rightist parties in Europe and America.
In America, winning against what? Anti-immigration sentiment and anti-Islamophobia sentiment. Okay, and that is the problem. We have established in Europe, in America, we have established an organization called Coalition of Faith-Based Organization. Okay, I'm the vice president of that. We have the second chapter in
Coalition
Austria
of Faith.
Coalition of Faith-Based Organization, and we have opened last year the third chapter in Pakistan, because Pakistan need that very badly for that. And we were to work with the religious scholar of all religion. And when on the scholar level we come together, we understand there is a very common 95% we have common because all these divine book come from the same source.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. The rightist parties, their narrative against Islam and against immigration, this is what fueled them, and this is how they are winning the election. Unfortunately, we are fighting that. We are fighting against all that kind of discrimination against any religion, not only Islam, against Hinduism or Christianity or Buddhism or Judaism. So we said all human, because if you read Quran, in Quran, Almighty Allah 360 times he say, Ya ayyuhan nas, humanity. And it's only
no doubt.
Only 64 times in Quran, Almighty Allah said, Ya ayyuhal mu'minun. So I try to explain to my
first
audience,
humans, exactly.
You are the human, and then you are Muslim.
Faith.
So you should be a good human being in order to be a good Muslim. So we teaches that. We are going there. This is a fight we really in Europe we are fighting. And one last thing, if I can say, also there is a threat in the West that Islam is a very very, very rapidly spreading religion.
Everywhere.
In the Western world.
In the Western world.
People are very influenced. I have actually my friends who are coming to me, taking Quran and reading Quran.
That's very good.
And they are converting to Islam. I just yesterday asked Dr. Tahir Al-Qadri that what is the procedure if one of my friends would like to
embrace Islam.
No, he has already, but he want to marry a Muslim. So what is that? And he want me to be the one who will
narrates.
Who will make the nikah.
Okay, performing nikah.
I said,
the wedlock, exactly.
He said, no, you don't need to have any requirement for that. So this is also a threat. Western civilization feel that.
Quickly, since your field is peace, security, conflict resolution, you have worked with the United Nations. Whatever conflicts we are witnessing, Jammu and Kashmir, Afghanistan, Sudan, Gaza, Israel has carried out aggression against Lebanon, Syria, entire Middle East is in disturbance, and now India, Pakistan. So, because of lingering disputes of Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine, should we think that international law or United Nations has failed?
See, there is a problem. I try to also explain to them, and that's why we are opening an academy, if I may say, in Lahore, probably in Pakistan Academy on United Nations system.
Pakistan Academy
on United Nations system, because we would like to educate people about possibilities, what UN is doing, what are the possibility, job opportunity, internship opportunity, and what is the United Nations role, mandate, and SDGs, the 7 Sustainable Development Goals. Pakistanis unfortunately do not know. The problem with...
when this academy is going to be established, you are working on it.
I am working on that, and hopefully we will be open, we will be able to, by the end of the year, we will be able. So there is a lot of homework we have to do that, and I'm constantly coming to do that. So the problem is, if I may say, there is a difference between the United Nations and Security Council. The problem with the Security Council is every resolution has to be passed by Security Council. Okay, and in Security Council you have 5 power with veto. And if I may say that there are 2 groups. France and UK follow US. Okay?
France and UK follow American orders.
This you can see that they had hardly. And then Russia follow the China. There is 2 blocks. So there is US versus China. Okay. So any resolution which come to the Security Council, either it's for the Kashmir or for Palestine, it is vetoed. When it's vetoed, it is dead. So
this means this veto is blocking the passage for peace.
Exactly, and that we have been working for 1980s. Even before that, a reform in the UN that this veto power should be abolished, or at least there should be some mechanism using that. For example, in Ukraine, all this resolution for peace, when was submitted or brought, was vetoed by Russia, which is also a party to that. So that is this veto power
should be abolished.
Is hindering the efficient work of the United Nations. On the other hand, I can give you, we were failed. I always say we as a UN failed in 2-3, and we failed in Somalia. We failed, in Rwanda to avoid the genocide. But this is a very weak Security Council resolution was. So we
failed in Rwanda.
In Rwanda because of this weak resolution. We failed in Srebrenica where 8,000 Muslim Bosnian was slaughtered because 150 Dutch UN peacekeepers were protecting Srebrenica against 60,000 Serbs invaded with tanks and heavy artillery. Okay, this is where we failed. We could not find the solution for Kashmir and Palestine. But apart from that, I can give you 20 examples where I was also in the peacekeeping mission where we have successful stories. So it is.
But these are one of the biggest one. This Rwanda, Bosnia are the biggest examples where United Nations fail in achieving the targets of peace and preventing the genocide. But genocide did take place.
I would not say United Nations. I would say this was a failure from the Security Council. The Security Council, as I said, this any resolution In Rwanda, we were asking for 5,000 extra troops, which were not given because veto was used.
So you could quote example of Iraq as well, where a fake report of weapons of mass destruction was presented before UN Security Council.
Exactly. So,
and later on, the former Prime Minister of Britain, Tony Blair, admitted that.
Yes, exactly.
That this report was tampered and it was not based on fact. Quickly, since your forefathers belonged to Jammu and Kashmir, how Jammu and Kashmir could be resolved? India is creating obstacles in plebiscite because Kashmiris wanted and plebiscite, a referendum.
Well, that is a very long issue. I think that there should be. I believe that until Mr. Modi government is in power, I don't see any progress. Unfortunately, I am very objective, although I believe very positively in positivity. I am a person who always see that glass is half full, not the empty.
No hope for Kashmir.
I would say that there should be we are also doing some kind of a similar kind of a proposal for between North Korea and South Korea. So I had also there a conference and presented my 14 points. First of all, you have to come up with some measure, peace building measure, okay, confidence building measure, CBM, okay. Then there should be a open visa between the Kashmiri for both sides of the border. That they should have that. And then
previously there was introduction by Pakistani government travel permit for AJK people so that they could travel to Srinagar.
Okay. So this should be again adopted. Then there should be trade between the two countries, then there should be people to people contact. I think when I see Pakistani and Indian living abroad, they are friends, but when they go back to their country, they become enemy. So this is the environment, the hostile environment, which make their change. So I think this need to be changed. There are measures which can slowly and gradually can be implemented. And maybe in one day we will be able to bring more peace in this region, because this region is hosting almost 1/4 of the world population. And any kind of a security problem here has an impact in the whole world.
So my last quick question is that given the background of complex global issues, rising Islamophobia, India's negative attitude, hostile attitude towards Pakistan, provocative statements, terrorism emanating from Afghanistan, trade tariffs from United States, things like that. Keeping in view these multiple challenges, as you mentioned earlier, security, what is the future of Pakistan? Well, how Pakistan could, in the complex situation, can make progress?
If I can make the proposal, first of all, you have to bring political stability in this country. Number one. Number two, you have to have, I always say Pakistan has not the problem with corruption. I have seen corruption around the world far worse than Pakistan. Pakistan has a problem of competency. You need to have a competent people leading
capacity building for better governance.
Capacity buildings, yeah. You have to have a good governance. Okay, with that kind of things and security in this country, then you will win the confidence of the investor. And when the investor come, and then there is another thing, if I may add here, I was shocked to see that Pakistan, for example, has the Japanese car manufacturer since 1950, but they are doing still assembling. It's not manufacturing here. Pakistan need to make, like other countries,
manufacturing, exactly.
Manufacturing, force them that it should be local manufacturing within 3 years. Okay, transfer of technology should be absolutely mandatory that you have to bring there, and the investor is more than happy to do that. So you have to also be very, very crucial about your policy and policy implementation, and then a very open, friendly investor environment you have
conducive
to
environment, which we say. Thank you so much. Future of Pakistan lies in a conducive investment environment where there is a political peace, where there is peace and stability, where there is good governance, where there is corruption-free society. In addition to this, the Jammu and Kashmir conflict could be resolved as per aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir in accordance with United Nations resolution. And Dr. Afsar Rathor Saab has made it clear that till Mr. Narendra Modi is in power, we may not hope, because there is an extremist party in power which is blocking all the possible ways of peace and resolution of Jammu and Kashmir issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Within
much.
a short time, you spoke about immigration, climate change, peace, security, counterterrorism, and hope mainly the youth viewers will definitely benefit from this, particularly in the segment that you highlighted, that there are immense legal opportunities for skilled, educated youth to migrate to Europe. Dr. Afsar Rathor Saab, despite your very busy schedule, you participated in our program and shared your insightful vision, thoughts, and views. Dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.